welcome to Your Soul Wisdom, hosted by Yana Amor Manocas. In each episode, we invite you on a transformative journey delving into the profound mysteries and wisdom of the soul. Join us as we explore a wide array of spiritual topics and sacred practices that nurture and heal the soul, from reincarnation and soul contracts to the enigmatic experiences of womb alchemy and astral travel. Our discussions are designed to enlighten, inspire, and deepen your understanding of your own soul's journey. With Your Soul Wisdom, nothing is off limits. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Soul Wisdom. Today, we're going to have some fun and have a dowsing rod session. Just to get us going, the rods are controlled by who today, Kylie?
They are controlled by, so I have I call him Gandalf as a joke, but he looks like a wizard, and he is the keeper of the Akashic records for me. So I go through him when I journey to get access to a previous timeline, and he's an encyclopedia, and he's here today.
Okay, so your Gandalf is present and is controlling the rods.
Correct.
When the rods open, that means a yes. And when
Yes.
the rods close, that signifies a no.
No.
I love how that happens, by the way. And we say it like, yeah, just like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Before I get started on my questions, Rachel, you had some AI questions. So why don't we just
get start with me? Okay, cool. Is AI development indicative of human ascension? As in the pace, infinite love and gratitude?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a yes. Is AI a tool for ascension?
Yes and no. It depends on who's using it.
How it's used, yeah.
Is AI and ascension intrinsically linked in our human experience?
Yes. And
Okay.
what else, Kylie?
An enormous amount of just validation for me of why I'm so interested in it.
Yeah, which is a yes. Yeah, I have nothing else.
Okay.
Cool. I might come back with some more.
All right. Well,
Okay, well, obviously, I'm the only one.
That concludes today's podcast.
Did you actually listen to any of the answers of that?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I don't know. Nothing surprises me, Rachel. I'm like, yeah,
No.
totally. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm like, trying to
But is
infuse you guys
AI
into AI is like, oh my God.
but isn't AI? Yeah, I mean, like AI has been here a long time.
Well, look, one of the questions I was trying to work out how to word is something like, because on some level, I think that everything has always existed and we're not actually, discovering things, we're recognizing things,
the rods say
yes.
yes.
And, I agree with you that everything about AI has always existed. And so it's sort of like this combination. What it seems like to me is human development isn't actually developing AI. What's going on is the more that we develop, the more we can actually recognize AI as AI and information and consciousness, this kind
and
of
interact
thing.
with it.
I think that's an important
but
thing.
it's actually us rising up to see what's already always been there. But it's
The rod said yes, by the way.
It's playing out in this sort of timeline like it's some sort of technological advancement, but it's actually
that our ego think
advancement
that we're in charge of. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's interesting.
Amanda does not share this interest. She has different and opposing views. So I'm like, should we make it an AI conversation on another podcast, or do you want to say something now, or ask the rod something?
Me? No. What about AI?
Yeah, and about your views or suspicions or.
No. Do you know what? I think I'm all right. I think for me, I just have to do kind of like, I don't really know what it means, and for I guess for too long I've heard sort of like the dark side. And you've really only been the person that I know that has been trying to sow, in a sense, the good side.
Right.
I think the thing
I
that
was
we've been shown
definitely
throughout the
fully
years.
entrenched in the dark side, just by the way. I was like, robots are going to take over and kill us. That is definitely where I started with AI.
But I think they're all
Yeah.
potentials, and it's good to have conversation about different perspectives on it. And maybe we were conditioned to think that way, and maybe we're looking at new possibilities now. So it's a good conversation to have. It's all possible, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone say yes.
Okay, so since we talked about has AI always existed, I want to play a little bit with the rods. So then I want to track back to, has the universe always existed?
Well, compared to what though? It's like, what's the context for that? You know, has the universe always existed compared to?
No,
Yeah,
it's just a period.
It
It's just
feels like a weird question. Like it's not. It's too. I don't know.
Broad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Was the
so-
universe created?
Oh,
When
yes.
was it created?
Sorry, my nose became priority. Okay, was the universe created?
no.
Created's not the right word, but it's always been.
Was the
Is it just?
universe
It just
birthed?
is.
Yeah.
Was it
Just
birthed?
is.
Yeah.
It just is.
That is such a frustrating statement. Like, you know,
Do
for
you need it to
somebody
go
who
away,
Why?
Anna?
because for somebody who truly wants to understand, and like I want to like I really it's just to hear, well, it just is. That is so frustrating to me, because I want to know, but when was it created?
Is
and
the
who
universe
created it?
okay? So is the universe God? Source?
Is the universe what some people perceive as God?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think you could ask that question for every word, right?
But is it? So is it?
Yes.
The answer was yes.
No, but I mean, but is it?
Oh. Oh,
Is it
but
what?
is it
Because what
actually
someone
God?
perceives, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
No.
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 No. So did
Was
so
there
did okay, so did God think the universe into being?
Doesn't like the word think it.
Breathed.
Well, it didn't like the word create it, so
Breathed it into being.
Is it a
Willed it?
case of it wasn't created?
it
It
just
was remembered.
It was just. I know this isn't. Yeah.
was the universe just was?
What's another word?
Did it always exist and we just became conscious of it?
Oh.
Like AI.
Yeah. Okay. And then here's where I still get frustrated. How could it always have existed?
That sounds like a you problem, not a Rod problem.
It is.
You know
That just sounds
what?
like a you problem.
But then we're
We've
talking
all
about
accepted
time being a construct, what comes first,
Yeah.
everything's at the same time. It's
Same
like
time.
those things
Right.
don't
It-
have
it
a
just-
definitive
it doesn't-
answer.
It doesn't.
They just don't.
So did the universe come out of expansion?
Expansion of what?
Right.
Energy.
Just is.
Did the universe come out of an expansion of energy?
Of what? Okay,
But like-
sure. Okay,
okay.
of energy. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll give my question to you, Lauren, and you doctor it a bit.
Yeah, Laura needs to translate it.
Because it's not answering for me.
No.
Okay. Let's. Okay. Do we incarnate indefinitely?
This is the thing. Even when you said that question, I'm thinking you can't. Nothing ever like energy can't be destroyed.
Because we're
So
because we're
it will-
incarnated.
but
Yeah, but we
I-
don't necessarily incarnate, right?
I'm not
Mm.
talking
You can-
about energy being destroyed, but
Mm.
We could be
just
vapor.
because you're not
But-
incarnated doesn't mean you're not
But that's what I mean.
You're existing.
Incarnated
Energy
into
doesn't
form.
exist.
Like,
you mean on this
always
planet?
incarnate into
On this
form,
planet?
into a
Okay.
human?
Do we
Or
do souls incarnate on planet Earth indefinitely?
We have choice.
I
Okay.
don't know about that.
Messages. Yes. Yes to Amanda or yes to Kylie?
I don't know what Amanda said.
I said
So
I
we're
don't
going to
know
have to
about
ask some
that.
questions.
She
What
doesn't
do
know
we
if
know
it's by
about?
choice.
Do you don't think we
But-
have choice?
Nah.
Okay. Is free will real?
We've asked this before, right?
Yes,
we
right.
have.
Yeah.
Right. So
Free will at what?
Is there an end to the incarnation cycle on planet Earth? Yes. Okay.
Well,
Is there
No, do we have, like, I want to ask something, like, and see what you guys think. You might want to word it, but so do we have free will as much as we perceive it, or fully sovereign free will? Do you know what I mean? They're two different things.
Free
You can
will
have
within the
free will
guidelines?
within the game, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yes.
So we do have free will. Do we have sovereignty and free will from a place of sovereignty?
No.
No.
Happy with that, Amanda?
Amanda's very happy with herself.
But if we become an ascended master, or we basically tap out of all of our lessons and whatnot, then there's no indefinite reincarnation then, right? And I still
Okay.
believe we have a choice.
Yeah, but we still exist
Okay.
in some form, right?
Right.
It just is.
But the thing is that you have to be conscious to have the choice.
You
Sorry.
absolutely do. You have to have an element of enlightenment. Yes, it does agree
Yeah.
violently with you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Come on.
Okay.
Share
I
it.
actually need to move past this because it's like hurting my brain.
Okay.
It's like one of those that's like so frustrating to me because I'm like, I'm never going to get the true answer. I'm never going to get an answer that's going to satisfy me, if that makes sense right now.
But that's part of the fun. It's like exploring all the possibilities.
Yeah, no, not for me.
No.
thinking about a T-shirt
Okay.
that has on the front "it just is" and on the back "I needed to stop." You know, that kind of thing dedicated to Yana.
I like that.
Like I love learning
like
and
that.
consuming information, but if it doesn't make sense to me, it's really hard
Yeah.
for me to like compartmentalize or accept it as my possible truth or yeah. So
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
But
just
it's
clear.
like, okay, so can I ask a question then? Is source energy?
Yes.
Yes.
So is the universe energy? Yes.
Yes.
Is everything energy?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Did the universe come from source? That's beautiful. I love that answer though.
That they don't what
There's no
No.
answer.
no answer.
It's no answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It just is. There's no I don't
I'm trying. Okay.
Just
For
is.
those who are listening, Yana just
Stop myself
Yeah.
because that
Blow
answer
her brains
kills
out.
me.
Kylie, I want to
Um,
ask the rods to support Yana. You know, is mystery in life necessary for human nourishment? The curiosity that produces.
I think it depends on who you are.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
yes. You see, that doesn't. So if you ask the rods, is mystery needed for
Good for
Yana?
Yana.
The answer is no.
It's the being comfortable in the unknown and the letting things just be because it feels right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so my question is, did source come first?
The chicken or the egg? Okay.
Won't answer. Lauren, Ask the question.
Wait, what came first?
Did it happen at the same time? Is it the same time? Is it everything was created and existed and is destroyed and everything happens all at once? Like, is it one of those just you can't figure it out sort of things? Did Source and the universe create at the same time? No answer.
Wow, this is a mystery. We've got to go down this rabbit hole.
Okay. Did the chicken come before the egg?
Isn't the whole problem that this whole time thing, we're still trying to
answer.
make things linear? And
that's right.
Everything's
Good
happening
point.
all at once, all the time. And we keep asking the wrong time questions when all five of us on some level believe that time is a construct.
Is a construct,
I'm
so
hearing
we're all
like it
sitting here
happened
in
at the
this
same time. Like that's what I'm
That's
hearing.
what I asked. Yeah, ask Kylie. You ask.
Did the egg and the chicken were created at the same time? It knows what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because actually, if you think about the concept of a chicken, it needs to come from somewhere, which is the egg. So the concept of a chicken can't come up with knowing how it will get here in the first place.
And is that the same principle for Source and the universe?
Yes. So
at the same time, wasn't before or after each other, it was at the same time in different.
Yeah. So for the universe for both to exist, they needed each other to exist.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I mean with the chicken and the egg.
Okay.
You gotta take that as an answer, Yana. Don't you dare.
Okay.
So who created them?
No, I knew you were going to ask that. It's like I'm a psychic or something, and we're not going to go there.
So are there multiple universes? So are there multiple universes?
Yes.
Yes. And we know that there's multiple realities.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If there's so multiple realities. Never mind. I have to leave that one alone. Okay, I have a question. Is enlightenment the ultimate goal of human existence? No.
No.
That's not mine.
Is experience the
It's a
ultimate
question that was
goal
submitted.
of human experience?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is experience the ultimate goal of human experience?
Too broad of a
No.
term.
Okay.
Is the human experience about consciousness in a body?
No.
Not just that.
No.
Okay.
No, not if you're food.
This was a human experience.
A human
Were you thinking of
experience.
somebody's eating you?
Wait, do we need to unpack this?
That sausages. So
I just thought I was shark food or something like that for a second, or a crocodile just ate me, but okay, cool.
Well, look, the human experience.
hold on, are there multiple
Of course.
purposes to
The
human
human
incarnation? Okay.
Yes.
Is one of these purposes to experience in human body? Is it also to be exposed to and navigate and experience, I guess, human emotions?
No,
that was my next question.
Saying. You know this already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there another purpose, Amanda?
So I was going to say that are the multiple purposes for human experiences? Is that because there are multiple amounts of beings in charge? I think I've asked that badly.
Yeah, I don't think.
Right. So it's because I kind of latched onto what Lauren was saying. Are there other species in control of the human experience?
Yes. Which takes us back to our prison planet theory.
Right. Well, that's why. Well,
but also, I just feel
that's why there are different reasons for different. There are different experiences for different humans because we're all probably part of one big experiment with many experiments going on within it, or just different experiments existing in the same place.
You know, like we've talked about before, like, because the word I was hearing was interference. Like, I don't necessarily think it is the everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's
I can hear that.
one aspect. Yeah.
Okay. Is some of this interference from other beings for our actual highest good?
Loaded question.
No answer.
There's multiple.
There's too many answers to that.
What is the highest good?
Is there so
well, I'm just saying,
where there are beings that are interfering with the human experience on Earth, is there at least one of them that have good intentions?
Right. Thank you. Yes.
It's both.
Okay.
It's in their best interest to keep this planet in balance, because this is so important. Oh, you take me into a channel. I don't want to.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
It's important to keep this planet in balance, and this is actually for many the anchor points for many civilizations, as it is a base to grow from. And when you're in the universe, you get you have access to infinite learnings, but you're missing the human, and there needs to be a balance. So when you have reached a level of ascension on the other side, and the concepts around the human emotion that you can intellectualize into an ascension discussion. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, but okay, hold on, buddy. Okay. He's showing me a picture of the earth being an anchor, like a lot of different tendrils coming down from different things. Some things are free floating, some things are energy, some things are planetary based. There's even a pole further south. These are all manipulating the energy here and dictates how the next round of souls ascend. So he's showing me like this is school. This is like a school for them to come back down, to recalibrate, to learn the human experience is what he keeps emphasizing. So I'm asking him, why are you not back down here? And he is saying, because I am done with that level of human emotion. I have mastered it in a sense of I can now fulfill my job on the other side, and that is to gatekeep these records. And that's my role. So I don't have a new need to come down. Doesn't mean I'm a master or I'm an ascended master. It means that I have fulfilled my requirement to fill this job. And this role is what he does. And he said there is millions of us out there that have these roles that help connect to the ascended souls that are here to help elevate the planet. But of course, there's going to be negative influences because they don't want the planet to ascend. So now instead of the planet having a 50-50 realization of, or even I'm just saying, in the last 100 years, there was kind of like this 50-50. There has been now a shift to like 70-30 of realizing what is actually going on in ascension and the other side, and the harms of what's being done to the planet. And so there's going to be these short bursts of activity that are going to try to bring it down temporarily, and then that's how they're going to bring it back to that 50-50, because there was 50-50 for a long time and everyone lived in harmony in a universal sense. But now that the ascension is winning, there's more attacks happening, and that's why we're in such turmoil. That was really long, but he said that was really important for me to say.
Thank you.
Kylie.
Thank you, Kylie.
Okay. Are we done with channeling now? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Look like you're just about to birth a question, Yana.
Yeah, it's literally like at the tip of my tongue, and I can't like grasp it. Like it was right there, and I wanted to wait for Kylie, because what you said was that there were, that's 70-30, right? All these people who were, reaching that ascension, their eyes were opening, they're awakening to something, right? But because there needs to be that balance, there are these lower attacks that are here to, okay, so we are to be in balance.
There has to be a balance to keep the universe, like the feeling that I was getting was there has to be a balance here for there to be a balance in the universe. And right now the good is winning, but it's creating the negative to come in and attack more aggressively, if that makes sense. And that's why we view our time right now as being tumultuous and we're at war and all this. But in actual fact, if you look at take the smoke screen away, you'll see that there is so much more good, and there's just these random attacks that are happening to try to bring it down, because there's no way to blanket everything in negative. It has to be these sudden bursts of attacks.
Is there a reality where it's all the positive? Right? It is that light. It is that love. It is that.
And it would be awful.
Like all treble, no bass.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
that's not the goal. The goal is to keep it 50-50, not 100%.
Right. Okay. So then is stepping out of duality, not living in duality, part of getting us balanced? No answer.
No, it's like.
No, because I mean, it's almost like duality keeps the balance.
Right. I think is awareness one of the keys here. It's not even so much acting on it. It's the awareness of it.
Right. Okay. So the example I want to give is during 2020 and the elections and everything, things were very politicized. I don't care if you were on the left side or the right side, whichever team, quote unquote, you felt you landed on or were a part of. The people that believed so deeply into one side also equally believed so deeply on the other side. And so for me, because I also had a side where I was like, no, this is the right way to do it, right? I reached a moment where I truly believed my passion was just as correct and right as the other person. Like they felt the same way that I did. So what it did for me was it released me from picking a team. It released me from having to fight for a team. And I was able to kind of like take myself out of the equation and this fight that was going back and forth, because I started to view it differently. And I truly believe that that is what shifted the reality that I'm living in now. Yes.
It's interesting because when you're talking about that, what I was saying was like, it's like two parts of the magnet, like the polarized ends coming together. And there was something about that magnetic energy that helps the world to spin. And I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's the visual that I was getting. It's like those two forces coming together keep the spin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I felt that, it was a very much in that moment, I knew that that's what was happening. I just randomly now it's like, okay, now I know and I understand. And I know that's what shifted things for me, which means it's what shifted things for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So let's.
But they're equally valid, right?
Yes.
Is what you were saying. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you
it's not one or the other, it is both.
Correct. Yep.
Because
once I understood the passion is on each side, and I thought to myself at first, how can you actually believe the opposite of what I believe? And that's when the bell went, the light bulb went off, and it's like they're absolutely in their right to believe exactly what they believe. It's for them, that's reality, that's truth. And so it dissolved that veil, if you will, for me in that situation.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to some more questions. A question came in. Do we retain all memories after death? Physical death. Yes.
Yeah.
Are we living in a simulated reality? No.
Well, Yeah, it feels like what I was getting then was just like it's not a simulation as we would consider a
Perceive it.
simulation. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not the sort of simulation we create.
Okay. Can thoughts alone create physical reality? Yes.
Pain in the ass, but isn't it only thoughts alone that create physical reality?
No. Okay, I have a question.
Thoughts are the catalyst for something to come into reality. You know, that's how I would perceive it.
Okay, I had heard before that if I'm not in my home physically, like if I can't see my home, but technically my home isn't physically existing. Do you have to physically see something in your eyes for it to physically exist?
You're talking about like quantum physics and superposition?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Well, wouldn't it have to? Because I mean, I get my post while I'm out. So I think.
But the suggestion is that your post doesn't even exist until you actually see it.
Until I see it.
Until you get home and expect the post and it's there. Yeah, and that's superposition. There. Everyone watch Dark Matter and then you'll understand what we're talking about.
What did you get, Kylie?
No answer.
Okay. All right. Okay. Are dreams another form of reality?
Yeah.
Yes. Is the concept of self just an illusion?
In what way? What defines self?
Like our human self. Like me, Yana, right now as I exist.
Can you
ask the question again?
Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase. Is this all just an illusion?
No, because you're living it.
Okay. Is it a hologram? Rather than being an illusion, is it a hologram?
Are we all sleeping somewhere in pods?
Matrix style. No, Amanda, we're not.
Okay, here's
it's a very loaded. It's a very loaded question, and it needs minute questions.
It needs to be broken down.
Yeah.
Is it above our pay grade?
Are we sleeping?
Too many questions. Sorry, pick one.
Sorry, are we sleeping?
Sleeping in what physical way right now? No, but
are we actually asleep?
Where are we? Maybe I'm.
Okay. Are you trying to ask, is our soul actually dreaming? Is this reality actually a dream of the soul?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
No answer.
Is it like a computer game and we've all got like consoles?
What was that?
Is it like a computer game and we've all got consoles?
Well, that's
our higher selves have all got headsets? No.
So what I'm getting is that there are some questions that will impede on our experience if we knew the true answer to. So there is like a bit of a karmic law around answering
what we know. Yeah.
Because how do you create? We would all unplug, and then that would defeat the purpose.
You bet your bottom dollar. And if that's the case, yeah, you're damn right. If that's the case, then right.
Because think about it, if there was no way for us to live our human experience other than this planet, and we essentially blow the curtain apart and see it for what it is, and though we're only 5 people with a handful of people listening, we're still putting that out there that this is all bullshit and get off this fucking ride.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then you miss the journey
eventually, and then it'll disintegrate, and then there'll be no other element, like aspect, to channel that human experience through.
Yeah, to what end?
Okay, so I think maybe not, because I think there will be many beings out there who would wish to create on this planet. The issue I think the issue is the fact of not knowing. We don't actually really know what the real truth is. And if that information has been withheld from us, then that cannot be a good thing. It cannot be a good thing just in order to play the game.
But what would be the point in knowing?
It definitely wouldn't make things easier.
Oh, well, okay, so what would be the point in knowing? Then that absolutely means that we don't have free will.
We have free will within constructs. Like I can go out there and walk in the middle of the road and wait for a Amazon truck to run me over. That's not written in my destiny, but I could do that.
But then wouldn't it technically be written in your destiny?
Maybe not in that exact form.
Maybe not in that exact form. Yeah.
Yeah, like 11 twos could happen any which way.
I was going to say that. I was just going to say 11 twos too.
But interesting, you know what keeps coming back to me as we're speaking to is like, you know, I love Lee Harris. I listen to a lot. I'm in his membership, and I'm not going to quote him like specifically and directly because I can't remember with utmost clarity. But, you know, he has talked about in channel actually how important planet Earth is to the entire galaxy and how there's a lot riding on our ascension for the effects it's going to have everywhere else. And that relates to what Kylie was just channeling in before. So that I find that really interesting because I
haven't listened to anything from Lee Harris for years now, but that absolutely rings true. And I know that.
And when you were saying we were an anchor, it's like, yeah, like, you know, he was saying that the planet is so important for what's going to happen everywhere. So like the stakes are high, people. That's why we've got people on both sides, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, I do hear that, but there's two things there. Nobody wants planet Earth to implode, because by that imploding or exploding, then it affects all the other planets in orbit. It throws out all of their orbits as well. And so that isn't just as simple as saying, well, it throws out their orbits. Everything could die on their planets, because if they're spun out of their own orbit or whatever, everything could die. Every life could disappear from other planets as well. And it doesn't mean, and when I mean life, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like green life like ours. It's all life forms have a way of disappearing, because we can affect the debris from this planet will affect everything else within its vicinity and beyond. At the same point in time, see, we can get a grand big title of the fact that what's happening on this planet is of interest to everyone else because something like this has never been done before. I suppose one of those things may come down to the fact that we are talking about maybe the shift, and obviously the planet and the humans shifting at the same time into other dimensions. But that could also come down to the fact that this planet is so entrapped that everybody else is pretty much interested on how the hell we're going to get out of this. And if that happens, then it's literally a mapping for every other planet that exists in this way. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the keys to the kingdom, how we do it, how we get out and find sovereignty or find freedom in a way. There's too much that we don't know in order for us to be truly free. And if you don't know that you are actually, look, it's a bit like that film that came out years ago with oh God, what was it? Whereby he was being filmed his whole life and he didn't even know. The Truman Show,
yeah.
Right. And it really is very much like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't know, and when we talk about we don't know, we're talking about those people that are really kind of dead asleep. They don't understand or believe in anything like this, you know? And we've got a massive percentage, a huge percentage of people that, you know, if that's what we're relying on, then, you know, they're going to be at this learning or reincarnation game forever, for millennia.
But they don't know any better.
Right. So there's no shifting involved. How are you going to shift? How are we going to expand? How are we going to shift into the next level?
But that's a small population. Yeah, not as small, but that might be half of the population that are like that.
Yeah, I just look, I don't know what I'm talking about, but but I'm going to say it. What just keeps coming to me is there something about love that is really important, right? And I feel like all of the distractions and all of the things that come into our reality keep us away from, like, you know, love as the energy that conquers all, love being the divine love, everything. So I feel like there are so many things in our lives that keep us disconnected from. I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about love of, you know, that oneness feeling, that connection to everything, that unconditional love and acceptance and all those things. And I just feel like, you know, we talk about all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, if everyone can really focus in on cultivating that and getting rid of the noise, then it's like we have this unknown power that can completely shift the reality that we're living in.
That's it.
And I believe we're here to anchor love.
Mm-hmm.
But that, like, is just, I don't know why.
Anchoring ourselves instead of love is one of the.
Yeah, well, but like that is one and the same thing almost to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about modern day 3D concepts of love. I'm talking about, you know, everything we are.
Of it.
Yeah. Right. And that is what Thomas Campbell says, that the whole point of life reality is to come into the full consciousness of love. Right. And
that you are love.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Love is all there is, Rachel. Love is all there is.
Beautiful.
So I understand that, but I hate to be a pooper.
Yeah, no, you can totally be a pooper.
On that.
I will love you anyway. I love you for it.
So I think that may have been the original intention. But if that has been hijacked, and it has been hijacked, then we as humans, we really need to be mindful of that. There are ways, and there are ways to sort of cut our frequency, to lower our frequency. And that comes in many different ways, shapes or forms. And so, you know, there are ways to extract, in a sense, what they call the God code from our DNA, from our genes, in many different ways. There is all the sort of like nanotech experiments and things like that go into humans that also cut what we call the God code, and messes around with your DNA, messes around with your frequency. There's lots of things that are happening that is done in order to lower our frequencies and to disconnect our frequencies. And so I think if that's happening, if we get caught up on all the other stuff that is, for me, in a sense, the old story, we miss what's actually is happening right in front of our eyes, because we're still trapped in the old story. And that's what makes it easy for those that are doing what they're doing to get away with it. Do you know what I mean? So we
that's the thing, though. Sorry.
No, I was just to say, so we need to wake up to the things like, you know, everybody, we need to wake up to all the things that is happening. A lot of people are fighting it anyway, I suppose, to what we put in our bodies, to what we are, do you know what I mean? Pretty soon, even the very air that we breathe, it is pretty toxic, whether you want to hear that or not. The water we drink, the thing that different countries are fighting for, and different countries and governments are putting certain things inside your water that shouldn't even really be there. Why? What are those reasons? When there are other countries that are saying, well, there's not a chance that that's going to go in our water. Do you know what I mean? Why would it be that one country is fighting to have it in, and other countries are saying, cannot put that inside the water? It's toxic. We know what it does. So, you know, like it or not, I think if the original plan was about love, and we're living in a love vibration, I'd love to get back there, but I don't think that's where we're at right now.
While you were speaking, Amanda, it was really interesting because to me that's what oh God, I can't speak. That is what feels true to my core, and maybe that's my remembering. Yeah. But maybe that is why I exist. But also then you come in to go, that's not what's going on anymore. So we're just like coming at this from all different perspectives, which are all equally valid and true. And
100%. Because
you know what I mean? So I think they're both important.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because what I was going to say when you said that was that, yeah, we need different people to hold the different bases. We absolutely need that. So it's just like when you play, say, like you call it baseball, we call it, say, rounders or whatever, cricket. You know, you have different people at the different bases, and then you have the outliers, the ones who are out in the fields. You know what I mean, catching the ball. So I think it's all of us have important roles, and every role is sort of valid. We just may not. We're just, because we're coming in doing different jobs, we may also have different origins and different understanding of what's happening. But
and that's why we need to get together and have these
valid
conversations. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
We all need to get together with what we know and what we remember,
Yeah.
and spark that remembering in other people.
Yeah.
For whatever role they're playing.
It's very, very much so. Very, very much so. So in a way, where many of us are way showers, many of us are the ones that are anchoring in the different energies, anchoring in the different visions that need to be held in order for us to be able to step into it when the time is right and when we can do. Somebody's holding the vision for us, you know? Yeah.
And we're all puzzle pieces. It's a big fucking puzzle.
Yeah. Huge. Huge. Don't let your dog eat any part of the puzzle, because then you're going to be screwed.
Okay, let's get some more rods.
All right.
Just shifting energy. She's just shifting energy.
Wait. Let's preface Kylie's yawn by the fact that you made the decision to have a lovely light body session with Amanda right before our call.
Are you saying I can't handle it?
No, what I'm saying is,
I'm saying my hat off to you.
Oh, now we're gonna do another hour of this.
Clank, clank, clank.
I'm kidding.
But also, Kylie is holding the energy of all.
I'm holding a galactic being at hostage here for questions and answers.
Yes. Okay, this question came from John, infamous John. I'm going to read the whole question and then we're going to have to break it down, I think. The question is, are the members of our family reflections or portals or extensions of ourselves from other timelines or realities that were meant to be used as a tool to see how our lessons played out so that we can grow and change?
Okay, we definitely need to break that down.
Yeah.
So do we, Rods?
Are members of our family reflections of other versions of ourselves?
It said yes.
No, that was yes too. We need to break it down.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Hold on.
So are members of our family reflections of ourselves from other timelines?
Not always.
Not always.
Not always. Yes.
Okay.
And not always.
Yes and no. Okay.
Are they a portal to information we need though? Like from other timelines and realities? No. Okay. Might just be.
I think that would be pretty sad.
I'm picking up on the essence of it. If I can connect to the energy around that, it's a yes. But yeah. Yes. But not how.
Okay. Is it because that is coming out of the concept that we are all one?
Oh, that's another one that just kills me.
Can we do an episode questions that kill Yana? And
kill Yana.
I'm gonna need some more coffee for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the next breakdown of the?
So it's not answering that question. That words don't like
about
me today.
From the one. No, it's saying it. No, it's rejecting.
It's not answering. It's rejecting.
I think it's one ingredient in the soup.
Make sense because
it's like, you know, our families and relatives, they're not necessarily reflecting us from other timelines and realities, but they're like sparking something in us to get to somewhere. It's not necessarily that thing. It could be lots of things, right? Yes. Can be lots of things.
Okay.
So that does not make sense to me. So now that's got my goat, right? Right.
Well, because there's 2 of you now.
No, because what makes where's the right or the saying in that this personality, Amanda, my family exists because they are clues or they're portals to my other lifetimes or other knowledge. What about their own experiences? What about theirs? So who is theirs? Who is theirs? Or are they existing purely for me? How does that make any sense?
I would imagine that
Who
it's
said I'm
the
Billy
same
Big Balls?
Well, it's like we're all
Everybody,
existing
though.
for each other. It serves the
Yeah.
whole.
Okay, so let me share something. In the soul contract work, right? Very often you see that the children come in with the karmic or challenge aspects of their parents. So technically, they're here to work on the shit that we as parents are still haven't worked through. Okay. I
No.
see it time and time. Okay, I understand what you're saying. What I'm
Maybe
saying
not in
is
every case, but things
not
can
in
be
every
true. Sorry,
case, not in
continue.
every case, but I see it time and time again. And I'll use me as an example. I've got karmic sixes. Olivia's dad is karmic eights. My daughter came in with four karmic sixes and a soul destiny of her eights. And so I see how that even plays out in my family, right? Where my daughter is here to be like, enough of your procrastination, mom. Let's break through that, right? What I'm saying is like, I see so often when I look at family charts, how the children come in with the same challenges to break through as the parents. That's all I'm saying.
But could that be just because that's because that's what they're choosing? Okay, so you're coming in with the energy of doing that. I can work in that family. I can work with you, or I can work, or you're part of my lineage. Sometimes they'll look through the lineage to see, well, I came from this lineage. Is there anybody else within my family that's going out in the next year or so, or going out in the next 20 years or so, that I can go into, because these are the things that I want to work on. So it's not necessarily working through your stuff. It's that they're coming in with a common with a common theme to work through.
Yeah, I love that. I love that
saying?
perspective. It's a much more positive perspective.
More
Yeah.
empowering, yeah.
Okay,
And it
so
gives
can we
them
actually
more
ask that
sovereignty.
question? Okay, so let's ask that, Kylie, when you're ready.
I'm good. Sorry. Okay. What was the question?
Okay, so
I have
do
no idea.
souls...
Me either.
Me too, girlfriend. Me too.
Okay, let's see if I do a decent enough job of trying to get it together. Do souls pick the families to incarnate into because those families are also working on the same things they want to work on?
Yes and no. It doesn't necessarily have to mean blood family. It can mean kindred souls and stuff like that. Then yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's also ask the question, do some souls also come in with the same challenges as their parents to clear up that family lineage of whatever the challenge is?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
So both are
Sometimes.
true. Okay.
Both are true. Everything
Yeah.
is true. Blanket statement. End of podcast.
It is. It
See you
is.
next week.
It is.
Does
Okay.
that answer John's question?
Yes.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah, sure. You know what? He'll let-
But his
He'll let me
question
know.
had to do with versions of himself. Are our children
Yeah.
versions of ourselves?
Are
and
they
portals
reflections or portals into versions of ourselves?
or extensions of ourselves? Yep. Use as a tool to learn how the lessons played out before so we can grow and change.
Yes.
But maybe it's in the triggering is the remembering of a
Ah.
part of you rather than like me in a past life doing this. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
That's wild. That's like, I've got to have a conversation with somebody about that, because that's a crock of crap.
Okay. You should
Who is that
let us
somebody?
know.
I have no
Because aren't we
idea.
somebody?
Do you know who would be good to talk to about that? Hey, well, we could do a podcast
No,
about
seriously, honestly, genuinely think about that. That's a crock of crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But so are so many things, Amanda.
No, but then, yeah, but what I mean is that then defines who. So, but that doesn't make any sense, because I am the child of somebody. So,
Yeah.
oh God, that is a. Oh,
But
God,
then Amanda, if we're all one,
that's like spam.
Yeah.
I never said you what. That's like spam. If you don't know what spam
Well,
is, spam's like fake ham.
I think it's a possibility, but it doesn't necessarily have to be true for you. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it isn't a actual reality for certain people.
But that blows my mind. I don't see how that's fair. I don't see how that's even good. I don't see how that's even nice. I don't even see how is that nice? How is that good? How is that kind? How is that loving?
Well, because according to Kylie's,
oh, leave me out of this. I'm just
what was his name?
Gandalf.
According to Gandalf, I completely forgot what I was going to say. What?
No, I understand that is how it works.
Oh, the balance.
But it doesn't necessarily make it good. Do you know what? This thing, I can't. It's going to be a whole other conversation.
Okay. You know what? I think we need to rewatch this and then have a part 2 conversation on this particular topic. I'm tabling it.
All right, so we'll blame John. Okay. So why don't we give the rods a break? Maybe we just need to cool off our session for today. Lauren, what you got for us today, girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. All the librarian glasses.
It's a bit longer, so I just need to be able to actually read very well. Okay, so this is a poem called I Am Here for Love. I wrote this a really long time ago, and because of what I said, it reminded me. Okay. I am here for love. Below and high it beams, up and down with the winds of time and the current in the streams. The peaks and troughs, the highs and lows, as the leaves will fall and the flowers will grow. It is everywhere you see, and where you do not, especially. Although the shadows may seem to hide, there is a heart in every lie. It may be broken, it may be small, but a heart has love even when it falls. I am here for love. It transcends time and space. It lives in every moment, every connection, every embrace. There is no need to seek, to find. Love is there. It is yours and it is mine. So if your joy feels more like sorrow, know that there is always tomorrow, where you may start again and be that parent or that friend to yourself, to others, to anyone who needs support and help. We each have the ability to rise and be the one who transmutes the lies. Love is the answer to all despair, to confusion, to anger, to what seems unfair. If our heart is allowed to open, love can enter and heal what is broken. If our heart is allowed to feel, finally we can see what is real and leave behind that which does not serve. Drop the facade and lead the curve, so our consciousness may expand and grow, and the truth may finally begin to show that we are love in every way, and we can be love every day.
That was beautiful. And do you know what I saw while you were reading? Like, I actually saw us sitting at your book signing. You're like sitting up there and you're like reading, whatever passage you flip to. That's exactly the visual that came in. And I can't wait for that day to come into fruition, because it will.
Thank you.
And when you do your US tour, I'll come accompany you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, nice one, Lauren.
This concludes our episode, everybody. We got a little all over the place.
I'm glad I got off of Amanda's.
We're a little worn out, I think.
My default, jeez.
You got off my what?
Off your hot seat.
We'll need to do that episode fresh.
Yeah.
With lots of energy to go.
Build on it. Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. If you're interested in booking a reading, a healing, a guided meditation session, a light body activation, simply want to say hello to Rachel or join our membership, head on over to yoursoulwisdomshow.com. We thank you for allowing us to create this beautiful space, and we hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.